Well, good morning. I'm here in Tuskegee National Forest this morning, back at my favorite spot, the Tasker Recreation Center. It's not really a center, Tasker Recreation Area. I'm set up here for a Parks on the Air activation with my trusty old Icom 705. We've got the AlexLoop ham walk here in the back, and the Bamatech TP3 key. Everything's all set up. I've got it tuned for 30 meters here, but I think I'm going to start out this activation actually by hunting a park-to-park. A friend of mine, Brian, N1BS, is on 40 meters right now, so I'm going to see if I can jump over there real quick and see if I can hunt him before I get started. So let's jump over to 40 meters, 7 megahertz, and he's on 7059, so I'm going to go close to that. Go to around 7057.58, whatever. And now let's tune this AlexLoop. There's the noise coming up. 1.3. Alright, so 7050. What did I say he was? 7059. See if we can hear him. Alright, so I can hear him, but he's just a little bit too far down the noise for me to try on 40 meters. So I'm going to go back to 30 meters where I want to activate anyway. Which, in case you didn't know, 30 meters is my favorite band. So I'm going to go back to 30 meters, and hopefully he'll catch me on a park-to-park. I just can't quite hear him strong enough on 40 meters to break in there, so I'm gonna wait and see. Alright, so let's tune back for 30 meters. Here's my noise. Close. There it is. All right. So let me go ahead and get my spot ready here. 10112 is going to be the frequency I start on. K-4451 is the park. CW is the comment, so it'll set the mode. In my log here, I'm just going to write out 10.112. Okay, call QRL a couple times, see what's going on in the world of 30 meters, and get this activation rocking and rolling. But before I do that, appreciate you watching, appreciate you joining me for this activation. I know I didn't upload a lot over the past couple weeks. I don't think I actually explained in my last video that there was some cold and sickness and nastiness going through my house the last couple weeks. So we've got 2 kids, so it went through all of us, and I was the last one to get it. And I decided that you probably didn't want to listen to me coughing on a video, so I still have a little bit of a cough. So if I do cough this morning, I apologize for that. I'll try to turn away. but these videos are pretty unedited and raw to catch the whole activation and on-air part of it. So I'm not going to cut that out. But yeah, really do appreciate you watching, and I'm looking forward to some good old radio therapy, as Thomas Witherspoon calls it. I like that term. There is something very therapeutic about operating CW, very addicting. It is very relaxing, and it's impossible to think about anything else while you're operating CW, and I think that's part of why folks that start operating it just get hooked on it, man, is it's so like mind freeing. And if you've got a lot on your mind, or you're not feeling great about something, then you get out and operate some CW. Heck, sit at your desk and operate some CW, and man, your mind just gets emptied and cleared and focused, and it's a fantastic thing. So highly recommend it. A lot less damaging than other addictions. All right, let's get started here. Okie doke, no one on this frequency. Let's hit my spot button here, 10112, and turn my memory keyer on. KI4. Man, somebody must have been waiting here. North Carolina. Very good, very good. Nice signal. Get that written. morning. New York. Excuse me. I think I might have lost you there. Yep. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, sir. or so. Nice strong signal. Good morning. I'm strong into Alabama this morning. Okay. That was a good little run. Send a text message real quick. All right. So the text I just sent was to Bill, who's a CW operator here in Auburn, AF4OD, who I just had a contact with. And I wanted to see if he wants to try 2 meters and 70 centimeters VHF, UHF CW. See if I can get some CW contacts in the log with him on VHF, UHF. That would be awesome. So I've been talking about it for a while, so see if he's available. So that might be a separate video, we'll see. I'd have to go get I've got an Arrow beam antenna mostly for satellite stuff, but I'll use it for this in my truck. So I'd have to go get that and set that up, and man, that'd be a fun little thing. I've never made 2 meter, 70 centimeter CW contacts, definitely never on a POTA activation, so that'd be fun. Morning, Spencer. How you doing? Man, you got a long name to spell out in CW. Alright, fine. I may have exaggerated your signal report a little bit. Let's see how the spot page looks. Man, I'm still getting some solid signal strengths from the RBM. 26 decibels. No, so got some 8, some 9, 27, 12. Just gonna keep on rocking and rolling. Alright, I'm going to spin my mag loop. Just a little bit. Not much. Just about like yay much. It's a little bit of a directional antenna. I don't think it's extremely directional, but it is somewhat. So as far as my experience, I don't lack north and south contacts when I point it east and west, but it certainly does favor one direction or the other. At least that's the way it seems to me. Who knows? I'm not an antenna engineer. Tell you one thing though is Mr. Alex makes an excellent product. If you want an antenna that you can just set up anywhere and... Alright, morning Mr. Perry. Gotcha. KB8 PGW. Oh, Arizona, all right. That's a good little haul. Excuse me. So sorry about that. A. 7. All right, you go ahead. North Carolina. Let's do one more CQ call here. Let's see who else is on right now. Okay, we're going to switch. We're going to do some park-to-park hunting. So I'm going to go over here. One thing that's kind of etiquette. All right, I've seen this talked about a little bit. I apologize for the traffic noise. That's just part of this park. Well, this part of the park. This is a massive park. It's thousands of acres. But this is the only part of the park that has picnic tables. And it's right on a big highway, so I apologize. I hate it. I'm using a new microphone this time, so I got a Rode video mic that just mounts right on. I'm using an iPad to record this in case you wanted to know. I'm not using a fancy camera. I like to use my iPad because it's what I edit my videos on. So I just record it with my iPad, and this microphone actually just pops right into the USB-C port on the iPad, and it's pointing right at me, and it's supposedly a directional mic. So I'm going to see if it helps a couple things. One is just the audio in general, but I'm also hoping it can help cut out some of the ambient noise of traffic and such. So we'll see. It may not, but it looks cool anyway. It's got a big fuzzy thing sticking off. All right, common etiquette here. Let's talk. When you want to go hunting park to parks and you're still out activating, you want to set yourself as QRT on your spot. And the reason why is you don't want folks still like going and looking for you. So if you just put in your comment and like update your spot and say, you know, hunting park to parks, that's fine, but it still shows your spot as active then. And truthfully, your spot is not active. It doesn't mean you're done activating when you set QRT on your spot. It just means that that spot is QRT, right? You're not there anymore. So I'm going to set QRT hunting park to parks. And hit spot. So that way folks will see that my spot is no longer active, but if they read the spot, because it'll still be up for 30 minutes as a QRT spot or whatever, I don't know if it will or not, however long it's up, they'll see that anyway if they want to. So let's jump over here. I'm going to hit 20 meters up because that's where it looks like a lot of the folks that I know are activating, and I want to try to hit some park to parks. WP4TZ, my man Manuel. He is from Puerto Rico, and get lots of contacts in with him while he's in Puerto Rico. He activates a ton. Great activator. If you have not checked out his YouTube channel, look it up. WP4TZ. And I believe it's LEL, so Echo Lima, Radiohead. And man, he's a professional photographer, and his video skills are exquisite. So check out his channel. If you're not following him, you're missing out. He just started posting videos here recently, and they are of a different quality. I love seeing parks on the air activators, ham radio operators in general. Man, start showing some cool field videos, operating videos, and especially love watching Manuel's videos and the cool film work that he does. So, all right, let's see. He's on 14.041.5, so let me spin the dial down here. I'm not going to get right on his frequency. I'm going to get about 42.37, just somewhere kind of random close. And let's do. Now, he is in North Carolina right now. So he's going to be east of me. So I'm going to point my antenna pretty much east. Start turning this. And you'll hear this noise come up. There it is. Check SWR. And there we go, 1 to 1. 41.5. Let's see if I can hear him. I don't know if I'll be able to or not. Holy cow. I don't know if that's him. Man, he's just too far down the noise. He's too close, honestly. North Carolina's real close to me, so. All right, let's try for Mr. Brian. He's on 20 meters now at 14.058. I can see. Tune just a little bit, fine tune this. I'm gonna have to work at this for a minute. I'm gonna be a weak signal in his reception now. Alright, so I'm hunting QRP, so we're going to have to wait and be kind of opportunistic here. So this is one of the things that hunting QRP is about, a strategy, right? So you can't just jump in and break a pile up. You're going to have to come in before anybody or after everybody. Got him. All right, good deal. Good to get you in the log. Nice part to part there. Now, also notice I did not call out part to part. All right, and the reason why, if I'm hunting part to parts, I don't typically call out part to part. As long as we log each other, then and we're within, I think it's 15 minutes is the Parks on the Air's code. I think that's what it looks for. Is as long as we log each other within 15 minutes of each other on the same band, same mode, yada 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 yada, then Parks on the Air will automatically count that as a part to part. So I don't need to put the effort into actually letting him know that it's a park to park. Now, if he is in Rhode Island, he's pretty close to his home, so I don't really care about getting the grid right on his log entry. I am basically in the blah blah blah. I cannot talk. As far as a 4-character grid goes, Icom IC-705 is my home grid. My home is EM72DN. I think this is EM72EL, maybe. Either way, I'm only a couple miles from my house by air, so I really don't care much about the grid difference between here and my house either. So the only reason it would really matter is like for grid hunting, since we're both so close, the location on a map is close enough, right? Now, if I was operating in a park in, New Mexico, well, I would want to give him my park number because I am far from my home address, right? And when he punches me in the log, it's going to pull my home grid. So, that's really the only reason it would matter. And that doesn't matter for Parks on the Air. It just matters for logging programs, or if you want to map your QSOs, then you do need to have that grid right. So we're both so close to our home grids, park number doesn't really matter. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, let's see if I can hunt a couple more folks, see if anybody else is on 20 meters before I change bands. Let's see, there's these are all a few minutes ago. I'm gonna go back to my buddy Manuel, see if I can hear him now, because 20 meters is still gonna be coming up. Enough. Excuse me. Let's listen. All right. I think that is pretty good. Haven't heard back from Mr. Bill Capps as to whether or not he wants to do VHF, UHF, so we may not be doing that this morning, and that's all right. We'll do it another day. I'm gonna come up here around the QRP frequency, come up to like 14.062 maybe. And I think I'm gonna call CQ a few times, see what happens here. There we go. Got it. I know, I'm keying up. Bad practice. I'm sorry. I am paying attention if I hear anybody on the frequency, but yeah, it's still not good practice. Let me turn off. There we go. Had my offset, transmit offset set. I'm back. Turn this thing this way. Haven't done that yet. Don't want to point it right at my head. white couple in the log. Heard something there. All right. Excuse me. Alright, I guess I messed that one up. Oh, what's going on there? All right, hey, Evan. Love it. Okay, gotcha. Indiana. I'll explain what happened here in just a minute. Good morning, Matt. All right, good deal. All right, nobody else? All right, cool. I'll call it right there. Keying's getting sloppy. After about an hour, I gotta take a break. Well, that was a lot of fun. So now let me explain what happened there. So I grabbed my phone after I wasn't getting anything on 20 meters for a few minutes, and let the guys in the Parks on the Air CW Discord channel group, whatever you want to call it, know that I was on 14.062. And when I did, I started getting a few of the contacts from the guys over there, so appreciate it, guys. Had Adam N1GVV, thank you, sir. And then also had Evan K2EJT, who is a teacher, and pulled out his radio. He had his KX2 and Elecraft antenna, I think AX1 maybe, and whipped it out and set it up real quick, and made a contact with me from school. Sent me a picture of it, rather cool. Just set it up on a looks like a shop cart or something, since he's a shop teacher at school. And man, that was fun. Made a good contact. Gave me a 539, and I gave him a 539. So good, solid signal. No fading or QSB. Just a little bit faint, considering we're both using QRP rigs, and 20 meters is not terribly great yet, at least for me. But yeah, no, that was awesome. Thanks, Evan. Appreciate that contact. That was fun. So yeah, I think this was a good activation between 20 meters and 30 meters. Made a good number of contacts here, and enjoyed getting out here in the woods and operating some CW this morning, and enjoying some CW therapy. So, well, I think that'll about do it for me this morning. I'm going to get packed up and head back to the house and start my day. So, no better way to kick it off, though, than with a good Parks on the Air activation or any kind of portable operating. It's a lot of fun. So thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. I know I jumped around a good bit in this video, so thanks for sticking with me if you're still watching at this point, and for hanging in there as I jumped around from 30 meters to hunting park to park to 20 meters to coordinating with a few folks on Discord. I know it was all over the place, but a lot of fun. So appreciate it again, and I'll catch you guys in the next activation video from W4ARB in Tuskegee National Forest 73.